All right, let's jump right into a question that, I promise you, once you really see the answer, it's going to change how you view, well, pretty much everything. God, the enemy, and yes, even yourself. I mean, really think about this for a second. When a consequence for sin shows up, when death enters the scene, who's the one who wrote that rule? Who's the author of that judgment? For a lot of us, the knee-jerk reaction is, oh, that's the devil. But what if that's not just a little bit wrong, but a huge misunderstanding of how creation itself is wired? And see, this is where we get to the heart of the matter. There's this myth that's been going around, and it sounds comforting, but it actually robs us of real spiritual understanding. It's this idea that the devil is the one who invented judgment, that he's the architect of death. But the truth, when you look at it, is so much more profound. Okay, I know that might sound a little shocking to hear at first, but stick with me and let's unpack it. Because when you truly grasp this one truth, the entire game of spiritual warfare changes. Suddenly, your focus shifts, that fear kind of melts away, and your strategy for victory becomes, well, crystal clear. So, to really get this, we've got to go back to basics. We have to talk about jurisdiction. I mean, in any legal system, the first thing you have to know is who has the authority to actually write the laws. And when you put them side by side, the contrast is just, wow. On one hand, you've got God, the creator, the legislator, the one who literally authored the systems of reality. And on the other hand, you've got the devil, a created being. He's a tempter, sure. A deceiver? Absolutely. But legislative power? Zero. He can't write laws. He can't decree consequences. He's a player in the game. He didn't write the rulebook. Big difference. So think about these fundamental laws of the spiritual universe. Sin leads to death. You reap what you sow. Obedience brings blessing. All of these were written by God long before we ever showed up. When the serpent slithered into the garden, what was his only move? To try and get humanity to question the integrity of a law he had absolutely no power to write or to change. Okay, this leads us to a really powerful idea, something that might just blow your mind. Some of God's spiritual laws aren't enforced manually. They're automatic. So what is an automatic law? Well, it's a principle where the consequence is baked right in. It's so woven into the fabric of the law itself that the moment you break it, bam, it activates. There's no delay, no committee meeting, it just happens. The best way to think about this is gravity, right? If you step off a cliff, you don't have to wait around for gravity to notice you and decide to pull you down. That law is already in effect. Well, it's the same way with these spiritual laws. When one is violated, the consequence is just as guaranteed, just as instant, and honestly, just as impersonal. Let's take it all the way back to the beginning, to the very first sin. Adam disobeyed. Now, it's not like God had to appear and go, okay, Adam, I'm now inflicting you with fear. Nope. Fear showed up automatically. Why? Because fear is the built-in automatic consequence of spiritual treason. It's the spiritual gravity of sin, pulling the human heart down into shame and hiding. You see how this totally flips the script? It means the enemy isn't some all-powerful monster chasing you with a big club called death. His strategy is way more subtle. He just tries to lure you onto a path where the law of death is already written into the code of the universe. He just tempts you to step off the cliff. He doesn't actually have the power to push you. All right, so if the devil isn't the lawmaker, then what can he do? What are his actual limits? It's crucial we understand this. Look, he can't rewrite reality, period. He can't overturn God's laws. He can't cancel a single consequence that's been set in motion. He has no authority to decree judgment or to create any systems. His power is so much more limited than we've been led to believe. It all boils down to this one thing. His entire strategy, his only real weapon, is persuasion. It's that whisper, right? Did God really say? He tempts, he deceives. He tries to talk your will into breaking a law that God, not him, put there. And here's the wild part, the great irony in all this. The devil's entire strategy only works because he has 100% faith in God's legal system. He knows God is consistent. He knows those laws don't bend, they don't break, they don't negotiate. So he's banking on the fact that if he can just get you to sin, God's perfect automatic law will do the rest. Okay, so what? Why is this so important? How does knowing the true lawmaker change things for you and me right now in our day-to-day spiritual lives? Well, look at the difference here. If you're stuck believing the devil authors death, you're going to spend your life fearing him. You'll always be fighting the consequences after they happen, and you'll get caught up in all kinds of superstition. But when you get the God author the law, everything shifts. Your fear rightly moves to Him, a healthy, reverent fear. Your focus isn't on fighting consequences, it's on resisting temptation before it starts. And you stop looking for spiritual tricks and start seeking true alignment. You see, this law was never designed to be a cosmic booby trap. It was designed to preserve righteousness. It's like a giant, flashing neon sign pointing to our own desperate need for grace. It's there to show us we can't do it on our own, and it's designed to push us, to lead us, right to the foot of the cross. And this is a really key point, so let this one sink in. The law itself, as perfect and as holy as it is, doesn't actually have the power to change your heart. But alignment is what does. Choosing moment by moment to align your will, your thoughts, your actions with God's will, that is where real transformation happens. This right here is the key to victory. When you choose to walk in the law of the Spirit of life in Christ Jesus, through simple obedience and faith, that old automatic law of sin and death gets superseded. It literally loses its legal hold on you. What does that mean? It means you're standing in a place on holy ground, a place of obedience where the enemy, the serpent, he can scream at you, he can accuse you, he can tempt you all day long, but he can't lay a finger on you. Why? Because you're aligned with the one true lawmaker. So I'll leave you with this question to really chew on. Knowing who truly holds all the authority, knowing that real victory isn't found in fighting consequences, but in resisting temptation, how is that going to change your alignment, starting today?